Hello, welcome back to Trailer Trash. Hopefully, I didn't forget to put the intro in this time. I think what happened was I forgot to push the record button or something because I was there, but there's no audio. So yeah, it was a bit fucked. Also, the crackling, the audio crackling, no idea where that came from. This mic is usually pretty reliable, and it only happened for that trailer. Yeah. That movie was just cursed, apparently. Anyway, this one is not cursed. This is a very special trailer. I actually had it recommended to me, and without even thinking, I clicked on it and watched it before recording this. So yes, I have seen this trailer, but again, it's very special. It's something we all should watch. It is Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl. Hell yeah, let's check it out.
Hi, I'm your nifty odd-jobbing robot. Call me Nobot.
This is my latest invention.
Pleased to meet you, Master Gromit.
A smart gnome.
What you're seeing here, seems like a silly kids animation, clay animation, by the way. I forget the company name, but I'm always a huge fan of their work. Even though a lot of the stuff they do, Box Trolls, I think was one by them, didn't get a lot of attention. The Chicken Run sequel, did anybody realize there's a Chicken Run sequel? Yeah. The Pirates one, I just remember going to see that in theaters because that's how big of a dork I am, and I was like the only one in the theater. Anything creepier than a grown adult going to see a kid's movie is a grown adult going to see a kid's movie in an empty theater. That's not true. It would have been creepier if there were children there. Anyway, this is character growth. You may not realize unless you followed the Wallace and Gromit series, because Wallace, the inventor, the dude with the the head that looks like a bell end, if you will, as the Brits would say. Is that something they'd say? He's an inventor, but typically his inventions are pretty lackluster and crappy. So the fact that he not only did he invent something that it has smart technology, but is semi-successful is saying a lot. Like, yeah, sure, things will probably go wrong with this guy, this gnome, but smart gnome. I get it now. But at least technology, that's not easy technology to invent. This guy went from making his bed automatically tip him into a hole in the floor to the kitchen whenever it was time to get up to fucking AI technology.
Well, go on, Chuck. Put him through his little paces. He's voice activated.
And that's a great joke, because if you don't know, Gromit, the dog, doesn't talk. But then you're like me, and you're like, okay, what's Vengeance Most Fowl? Because there was a Wallace and Gromit movie way the hell back. In fact, there might have been more than one, but it had to do with like bunnies and shit. And the bunnies were, unfortunately, basically a stand-in for like Minions or some bullshit. Is because you gotta have small cute things that do silly things in kids animations nowadays. But so what's Vengeance Most Fowl, you may be wondering, like I was when I first saw this. And there it is. For those who know, yeah, it's fucking happening, guys. From the shorts, The Wrong Trousers, the Penguin villain. He's coming back, guys. It's so exciting. I don't know. I'm half kidding. I'm also actually kind of excited because Wallace and Gromit, I don't even know where I came across it as a kid. I don't know what it is with me and European-based media. It's like Asterix and Cleopatra, fucking that... Peter and the Wolf movie I covered also on Have You Ever Heard of Wallace and Gromit? Like, I don't know why I grew up in America. Don't know where all this stuff came from, but a lot of it is my childhood. And Wallace and Gromit is hits that nostalgia note for me. Especially speaking of notes, that was the theme, the really cool theme. Aardman. Thank you, trailer. It's Aardman. What animations? Whatever. They also did this series I started watching on YouTube, even though it was a bit dry because it's British. Go figure, where it was like animals. I think they took like celebrities or comedians or something, and they would interview them. I don't know if a lot of it was being taken seriously or if they were prompted to, joke around with it or not, but they would take those answers, those interviews, and then they created clay animations of those animals answering those questions, like it's their profession or whatever. I think there was a thing about like animal professions, and so you'd have, I can't even think of any good examples because again it was incredibly dry, but it's fun. I love clay animation. I respect anybody who can pull off clay animation. Most of that stuff scares the absolute shit out of me. It makes me really uncomfortable to look at, but kind of in a fun, like, fascination sort of way. Wallace and Gromit never did that for me, though. Just straight up, just a good time. So I appreciate that they're still doing stuff, and that, go figure, there's even a teaser trailer for one of their movies. So fingers crossed they're getting the attention that they deserve. Though, again, maybe the fact that it doesn't seem like people know very much about their current day stuff is because, we're not in Britain. So, right. Let's check out the comments. Was not expecting Wallace's new voice actor to be that good. Almost thought it was Peter Sallis himself, and they were just using pre-recorded footage of his voice. This movie seems pretty good so far, and I'm happy to see the iconic duo once more. Did the original voice actor die or retired? You never know with voice actors these days, really. I hate to admit it, as Peter Sallis was a national treasure. Okay, I'm going to assume he is dead. But the new fella they've got is actually pretty damn good. That's a soft R, fella. I'm sorry. This penguin is low-key one of the top 3 cinematic villains of all time. For real, actually. He is, like Gromit, completely silent, doesn't say anything. The fun dynamic between Wallace and Gromit is Wallace is the inventor, but he's dim, and Gromit is kind of not his foil, but his, he's there to kind of lead him down the not dying path in most shorts. It's kind of the voice of reason, but he doesn't talk. Typical guy and his dog. It's a twist on it because it's the dog that's smarter than the guy, that kind of thing. So what's cool about The Wrong Trousers is the penguin sort of purposefully abdicates Gromit's position as, like, Wallace's friend to, I guess, I don't know, it's a bit of a strange plot, especially when only one of the characters talks. But, to make Wallace steal a diamond for him or what have you. And Gromit's the one who comes in to save the day. Typically, Gromit's the one who comes in to save the day at the end. But fucking penguin pulls a gun on them at some point. I just remembered that. And that was made in Britain. Like, that's something else. Are you allowed to have that in kids' animations in Britain? Because I know how you guys feel about guns. That's intense. Have to admit, I laughed harder than I should have at voice activated. Yeah, it's so charming. I don't know if it's just a British thing, and I've fallen for it like completely. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about Wallace and Gromit it's funny. It's actually funny. Again, the Aardman animation with the animals, like, it has its moments, but incredibly dry. The Pirates movie I mentioned before, I couldn't remember much about it except I think Darwin shows up as the villain, maybe? I know Charles Darwin shows up in it at some point, and I think he's the bad guy maybe in that movie. Spoilers, possibly. And then Chicken Run was just... it kind of had its moments too. I did see Chicken Run 2 recently, again, for work, much like Sonic 2, and it was meh. it was a fun story, but it had little in the way of charm. And I think what it is too is Wallace and Gromit, to an extent, feels like it came from a different era, regardless of whatever year it actually came out. But nowadays you get stuff and things like what this movie may fall prey to is to get that audience to be involved. They're going to resort to more new age humor, the newer type of stuff, what kids like these days kind of thing. And it sucks. It feels wrong when you see that kind of thing, especially from original content that, again, felt like it was from another time and another place, because it was from another place for me, at least. 47 seconds. It can't be. Oh, I was hoping that would be where the rubber glove comes in, because that, to me, when I first saw it, that was like that foul, that kind of foul. Yeah, it's a pun. Obviously, it would be a fucking pun, but yeah, the rubber glove. Again, if you don't know, very iconic. Yeah, so it's actually really neat to see. A lot of the comments section is just people super stoked and glad to see childhood favorites come back to the big screen, and also a lot of comments about the passing of the late voice actor for Wallace. So yeah, it's a testament to the staying power of the series and why I am absolutely not wrong for actually sort of unironically being excited for this. Did you look at the comments? They're all 100% on board, which is badass. So yeah, sorry, not badass. That's just grand, as the British would say. Those tea-sucking, queen-loving sons of guns. I don't know how to end this.